what are your thoughts on critics and them not necessarily getting your creative expression of self?
I like critics, man.
Right.
I think I don't. I rate them. Like every critic I've ever met, I got on with. I think they're good people. Like the other thing now is obviously having been in the restaurant scene for a bit is I quite like that I can just like chat to at a table. We don't have to pretend that it's that we don't know who they are or anything. Do you know what I mean?
Okay,
Like we just talk to them and like treat them like normal guests. And the thing is, right? I've had the majority of reviews that I've had. Like I think I've had one bad one, but like the thing was, I remember that this critic being in, and we gave them the experience that we give. Do you know what I mean? Like we did our thing, and at the end of the day, restaurants or any form of like creativity is subjective, right? So like you can watch. Me and you can sit and watch a film, and I might think of shit, but you love it.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean it's a bad film. Do you know what I mean? That's just like, so as long as you do what you like. Again, going back to Nath, I remember there was one like we were talking about like Michelin inspectors, and I was like, oh God, like I wish I knew like they were coming. And he was like, yeah, but what would you do realistically? So say you're there, right? You've set up for lunch, like it's 12 o'clock, first table comes in, a fucking geezer walks in, he's got the Michelin suit on, unzips it, gets out, goes to the staff, and he's like, just so you know, I am a Michelin inspector and I am reviewing this. What are you going to do? You're going to rewrite the menu? You're going to like, what can you realistically do? If you're good enough, you're good enough. And just deliver what you deliver. Do you know what I mean? It's the same. It's the same with critics. And like, you're going to get, you're going to get people that don't, that aren't into what you do for whatever reason, because it's a subjective thing and people are different. And like, as long as you've done what you can, then that's it.
But also, it's just doing it, because I mean, obviously with YouTube and with this, it's like about people are like, you say like too much, or like this kid he's on coke, or hasn't taken his ADHD pill. You know what I mean? It's like when I started doing this, you sort of take it really personally. Like, oh shit, I need to stop all this stuff.
Yeah.
Not 4 or 5 years in, I'm like, I don't give a fuck. You either like it or you don't.
Do you find that with yourself that you're constantly like looking at those things?
I don't look at it anymore. Really? No. So I don't. I basically have an audience of like 5 people who are like my mates.
Okay.
And and if they rate it, or they say you should change this or change that, I listen to them. And it's almost like, who is it? Again, I keep talking about John Hegarty, but he was like, the best book is always ever written just for one person.
Yeah.
And it's ultimately yourself. And I think if you create, like I ask the questions I ask is what I want to ask you. It's not like I'm going to go into a forum like, what do you think we should ask? And I think you can get into that, but it is interesting. How do you think critics like actually make things better? Like, they raise the floor,
Like for me, like I've read reviews of what we do, and I had one recently that was like, it was a good review. There was a couple of things that they said. When I first read it, I was like, well, they're wrong. Like, I disagree with that completely. Like things like, and I was adamant. I was like, I disagree with it. Like, that's just their taste. And I was like, do you know what? Like, I'm going to go back to it. I'm going to revisit it, try it. And I agreed with them in the end. I was like, I think you do, without sort of taking, there's a saying, it's like a camel is just a horse by committee. So do you know what I mean? If someone was trying to make a horse, a committee, they were like, well, it has this, it comes out as something completely different. So I think if you like listen to all of the noise, like if you like with the podcast, you're saying about like all the reviews, if you took every single one of those and like listen to all of those things, it would be a fucking mess. Do you know what I mean?
Oh,
so you
have to be. There's a quote I love, which is, with feedback, you have to hear all feedback.
Yeah.
So you only listen to the bits.
Yes, that's so good. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Exactly. And it's like, so this is true. So it's, if I because also these are just fucking gimps on YouTube. I'm like,
Yeah.
you'll comment. I'm like, what are you doing with your life, mate?
Yeah, exactly.
Like I'm just like,
Yeah.
that's just noise. There's a difference between meaning and noise.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
I think like sometimes it can be really positive and meaning.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's just if you do just noise, it just smothers your own expression of your creative.
Exactly, but it's like you have to have the humility to sort of you can't have this like superiority complex with it. If it, it's always worth like say hearing things, but like at the end of the day, like maybe you do feel that you're right, and like you can't like change everything to kind of that you hear. But like I remember reading it, and I was like, right, well, we'll go back to that. Let's go back and look at it. And I was like, do you know what? There's an element of truth in that. And now it was actually with the crab custard. So we did it with when we first did it, we did it with pink grapefruit on it, and I loved it when I first had it. And then after I read this review, I was like, do you know what? I kind of agree. I think like we did like some frozen pink grapefruit on it, and I was like, Joe, what? Actually, let's look at it again. And now we do the one with the tomatoes, and it's a better dish for it. Do you know what I mean? So it's like we didn't rip the whole thing up and start again, but those little elements. And I think just having that humility and that lack of ego when you approach things, and like maybe when we tasted it, I'd go, actually, do you know what? I think that's delicious, and that would have been fine as well. But I think like critics and reviews, like I welcome them. Do you know what I mean?
Raises the floor, I suppose. Raises the floor and pushes the ceiling ultimately.
Definitely.
Espressos is sponsored by supply chain software gurus Unleashed. It talks to your e-com and accounting software. It's helped islands cut admin time in half, get granular clarity on your margins, know where your stock is. Don't miss availability. Brands like Candy Kittens, Tiny Rebel, and Trip all use Unleashed, and so should you.